Do you know why ducks have feathers?
No.
It's to cover up their butt quacks. Welcome to Get Lost. Get Lost on air. I'm here all week.
Moving on. Moving on from that. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get Lost, the podcast episode that starts with the best jokes. It's your favourite hosts, Gingell and Clark, here.
That's right.
How you doing, Clark?
Good. The disappointment on both of our faces then. I was disappointed in myself.
That sounds like a 4-year-old made it up.
It does. It does. Maybe they did. Saw it on TikTok, so it's very, very likely.
Also, the first question itself, do you know why ducks have feathers? I think most people do know why ducks have feathers, isn't it?
Tell me.
To float, right? To float, like, because they're all really light and that helps them float. Like, if you peel the duck...
Peel the duck!
Yeah, you just got like a classic vegetable peeler.
Yeah. Like a potato.
Not pluck, not pluck. You don't pluck ducks.
No, you peel them. You peel the skin off as well.
Yeah, you want to go from the head first.
Yeah.
Just straight down the back, like a potato. And I'd imagine the duck wouldn't float after that.
I think they might. Plastic bags don't have feathers and they still float. So riddle me that, huh?
No, shit.
Yeah.
That's a good point, actually. I'll take back what I said.
Do you want to
I don't know.
Do you want to know the real reason?
Don't tell me it's to cover their butt cracks. We don't. I heard it the first time. We don't need it again. That's for sure.
Apparently, it is to protect them from the elements and enable them to fly.
Well, I was completely wrong. That's interesting. I mean, like, do you reckon the ducks couldn't fly without their feathers?
Well, the wings are the feathers, so probably not. The wings would just be flying.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That'd be like us.
Good point, mate. Hadn't really thought of that. So you want to demonetize a duck? You just take his feathers off.
Damn right, bitch can't fly now.
Yeah.
Chuck it off the Empire State Building. Watch it suffer.
Speaking of ducks, what do you think of Venom?
Trying to work out how that links to ducks, but we'll move.
I was hoping you just went with it, to be honest.
I am. I'm going. Let's go with it. Rewind. I thought Venom was funny.
You thought it was funny?
I thought it was funny because I've got the humour of a 4-year-old.
I can't confirm this is true.
I thought it was a good film. I thought it was a very good film. Without spoilers, we've got to somehow talk about things without spoilers.
Nah, fuck the spoilers, bro. Like, if anyone is listening to this, we're ruining Venom for you. We don't care. We don't care. All right.
Okay, fuck it. Let's talk about spoilers. Just skip to maybe 10 minutes in and see if we're still talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. How do we do that?
How do we do that? Just skip.
Oh no, the user would be doing that. We wouldn't be doing that.
No, fuck that. That's not my problem that we're going to spoil it for him. I've seen the
We
film.
can't skip 10 minutes in. All right, no worries.
What?
I don't know. So it seemed like, I don't know.
Skip 10 minutes in for people.
I was a little bit confused. I was a little bit confused.
Filter out the people who haven't seen Venom and skip it for them. Just skip it yourselves.
Yeah, it didn't make much sense to me either. But, no, I saw the first Venom and that was absolute quality. I can't even remember what the fuck happened, but I just remember coming out of that being like, wow, what a film, that was class. But this one, it was like, I don't know, I thought it was underwhelming, to be honest with you.
Did you? I preferred it. Because
Really?
I just told you about 10 minutes ago, but I watched the first Venom on Friday at about 4 o'clock, and then I watched the second Venom on Friday at about 8 o'clock. So there wasn't much time between the two, and I definitely preferred the second one, I think.
You prefer the second one?
Yeah, a lot of the time I don't really give a shit about an origin story. Because half the film is the person fucking finding out about Venom and all that shit. I don't really care about that. I just like seeing the superhero or villain.
That was the cool part, definitely. apparently there's going to be like fucking loads of Venoms, right, in the future. Like, you know, all the alien, like
the symbiotes.
Like, that's the stuff. So there's going to be like a bunch of them, like in the future episodes.
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole like, you know, there's a whole comics on that shit, obviously, and in the other ones, there's just bare Venoms, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, yeah. In the first film, he was talking about that he's from a planet where like there's fuckloads of Venoms about, so
yeah,
that makes sense. And yeah, but I thought it was a funny film, like. But then, yeah, I've got the humor of a fucking 4-year-old. And Tom Hardy obviously is fucking fantastic.
Well, they got the villains right in this one. Is what we'll say.
I
don't know what that dude's called.
Woody Harrelson.
It's Woody Harrelson. Yeah. But he's a good old boy. He is a good old boy.
He is. But I was thinking, sitting there, because I knew we were going to be talking about this film, and I was sitting there thinking, Woody Harrelson. I just see him as himself. Like, he's one of the actors where he's just like,
yeah.
You can't see, you're not convinced that he's actually playing that character.
It's like Adam Sandler, isn't it? Like, every film he's just himself. Like,
exactly.
It's that kind of vibe. Yeah, I know what you mean. He's like the like old, wise, kind of nice, but slightly emotionally closed guy in every film that he plays. Like, he'll look after everyone, but like not really let anyone in.
Whereas someone like Johnny Depp, they play a part and they completely change who they are, and you forget that you're watching Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Same with DiCaprio. In a lot of films, you know, he's just a completely different dude in every film.
But like Brad Pitt is another one where it's just like he's Brad Pitt.
He's just cool. He's just cool guy.
Yeah, or The Rock.
You know what I mean?
Like they all play the same fucking characters every time. The Rock is literally the same. He plays himself. He doesn't even try.
He's just a hench detective. That's kind of cool.
Just
you know what I mean?
Unreasonably hench for the job that he has. There's no need to be that strong.
I've not seen anyone that resembles a starfish quite as much as The Rock.
His head just doesn't turn.
Like his whole body, like it's because his traps are so big as well, isn't it? It's like his entire body is one like webbed foot.
He looks like a Roblox character. He can't move any of his fucking joints. Apart from his arms to do the bicep curls, that's all he can do. They're the only joints that man has.
That's like, you can only open doors with handles.
He can maybe rotate his wrists, but that's about it. He's like a Lego man. But yeah, Woody Harrelson's in the same sort of vein where he just plays the same fucking character and everything. But then again, I enjoy it. So, and I take the piss, but I enjoy The Rock and everything. And Ryan Reynolds, he plays himself, but I enjoy it every time.
Yeah, facts. Ryan Reynolds has only got one character, isn't he? Like,
yeah, but it's just lucky that it's a really likable character.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It must limit his earning potential. You know what I mean?
Well, you say that, but he's doing well.
He's doing all right.
He's in a fair few films.
Yeah. It was weird, like, with Woody Harrelson's character, like, not liking it, you know, because the whole idea is you don't like him, he's an actual serial killer, like, you know, he's a vengeful character. It was weird, like, not liking Woody Harrelson.
It was. It's also weird how well he plays a serial killer. Like, his usual characters that he plays don't really suit who he is, but this one suited him quite well, which is worrying, really.
Perfect. It was the eyes, man. The eyes, like, Woody Harrelson's got these, like, serial killer eyes.
He does, and he's also got quite a creepy pedo smile, so, like, that sort of fits.
Yeah. And those kind of, like, low eyebrows, they're kind of like this. Yeah, and he's got a big smile. Yeah, very like spot on. It does look a bit like, bit sus.
Yeah, you wouldn't trust him with your child.
Like, they didn't even try to make you like the villains at all, you know, in that film. Like, they were just dickheads.
Yeah,
it was like they had a little bit of a backstory where they got hurt a little bit when they were younger, but that was it.
Fuck having a wife who screams that much. Jesus Christ, women scream enough as it is.
Am I right, Jeff? Am I right? Jesus Christ, I've pint of Stella with that, please.
Right. So we've got to talk about like the final end credit scene. I take it you stayed for that?
No, I didn't realize that was a thing, to be honest with you. That explains, right, why everyone was still not getting up from the cinema. I just thought they were fucking slow. I swear to God, bro. I was like, there's not going to be an end credit scene here. Everyone's just sat down, and I was like, come on.
Oh, mate, this is why I liked it so much, this film. Because of the end credit scene. Because of the end credit scene.
You sat through an hour and a half for the last, 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it is the most exciting end credit scene that I have seen in a long time.
Why?
Spoiler alert. So, in the end credits scene, Tom Hardy is sitting there on the bed, just watching this Mexican sitcom or something, and him and Venom are just sitting there talking about these characters and how much they love it and shit. And then something happens, there's a flash outside out the windows, and then the room sort of changes slightly, and then on the TV channel has changed, and it is a picture of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and there's a news report about Peter Parker being Spider-Man, and then Venom's like, oh, this guy, fuck this guy, and all that shit, and it looks like Venom is going to be in the new Spider-Man.
Oh, mad. Don't they hate each other?
Yeah, well, Venom is a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah. They're enemies, right?
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I don't get why they've made him Venom such a good guy, because he's supposed to be a
I wish
villain.
He was just evil. I wish he was evil, man. If he was actually just eating everyone, that would have been so sick.
That's what Venom's supposed to be, but they made it such because the first Venom film, I didn't bother going to see it in cinema because everyone said that it wasn't going to be linked to Spider-Man, so I just thought, fuck it, I only care about Spider-Man. But it looks like the fucking new Spider-Man that's already going to have Doc Ock, fucking all the these bad guys and shit from all the other Spider-Man films. They're all going to be in it, and it's going to have Venom in it as well, and I'm really fucking excited. Jeez. It's going to be probably more of a nerd fest than Endgame was.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because I feel like Endgame was sort of acceptably cool to be really excited about all these characters mixing and matching, but the Spider-Man one does get a bit more nerdy.
Yeah. There's actually a lot more money going into things like Endgame.
Yeah. It's cool to like Harry Potter, but it's not cool to like Lord of the Rings.
I don't know. It's not cool to like Harry Potter anymore.
I know, it's mainstream at least. It's not cool, but it's mainstream.
Not when you're 24, bro. No. When you're 24 and you still like Harry Potter, it's not cool anymore, bro.
I'm glad I never got a Harry Potter tattoo. A Deathly Hallows symbol tattooed.
You get the scar on your forehead, mate. That's what you should have done.
Oh, I should have, shouldn't I? No, probably not. So that's our review of Venom. And welcome back, everyone who skipped.
You didn't miss much. Oh, bro. Have you seen this Salt Bae shirt?
Oh my fucking God, I have.
It's so funny.
I've just seen the picture of the receipt and people circling the service charge that they put on it.
Oh man, yeah, made $36,000.
And people are bitching about how expensive the service charge was, which was $4,000, wasn't it?
Mate, it was a 15% service fee, man. That's dumbest. The dumbest part of that is they just bought they spent $20,000 of it on wine.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? I saw. Also, £11 for a Red Bull. Where the fuck are you paying £11 for one Red Bull?
Mate, it was picked. It was £18 for a portion of asparagus.
Jesus. I wouldn't even pay that for a steak meal in a pub. I'd be like, oh, 18 quid.
Absolutely not.
Pricey.
Mate, I recently went to a steakhouse for my birthday not too long ago, and it was looking at 30-40 pound steaks, and I was like, oh, so this is how the other half live, huh? This is how they do it. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
I just don't know how someone can justify spending that much money on a bottle of wine.
Yeah, no, exactly. What have you done to those grapes?
Exactly. Wine doesn't taste wines do taste different, but not that different where you could justify spending that much money.
I don't know. Actually, I will argue this. Actually, right.
Go for it.
I can't justify like a fucking 10 grand bottle of wine. But what I will say is that having been to a restaurant where with someone who was willing to splash out on wine, the more money you spend on wine, generally the better the wine gets. Like, and like that's a legit thing. I swear there's not so much of a good thing with like beers and stuff, but with wine, if you spend like 50 or 60 pound for a bottle of wine in a restaurant, wine actually tastes good then. Because you know how like usually wine just tastes like fucking vinegar and blackberry juice mixed together. Like it's grim.
But 50, 60 quid on a bottle of wine isn't unheard of. That's not ridiculous. Like for a really nice meal, you would probably do that and then like enjoy yourself. But spending fucking 10 grand on a bottle of wine. I used to work at
there's something wrong with you there.
I used to work at a restaurant, right, where the owner like was too wealthy and he'd have all his family around all the time, and he brought these 2 bottles of whiskey that were like 2 grand just for him and his Yes, that's the mafia man. And he brought these 2 bottles of whiskey just for him and his like brother to drink or whatever. They gave me a glass, right? Usually I think most whiskeys taste very similar, like not very nice. And then you do notice, like, as you spend more money, say if you buy like a 30 quid bottle of whiskey, it tastes nicer than the cheap shit. But there's definitely a cap on it. And I had this glass of whiskey, and it was probably the nicest glass of whiskey I've ever had in my life. But I'd spend 50 quid on that bottle. There's no way in hell I would spend 2 grand on a bottle of fucking whiskey just to enjoy it slightly.
Mate, it's like the satisfaction is in spending the money at that point, isn't it?
It's like when you buy Supreme stuff, isn't it?
Like, NFTs, mate. NFTs. Isn't it? You know what I mean? Oh, funny fucking thing I saw today about his NFTs, right? So this kid's been like doing drawings and stuff and like turning it into NFTs and selling it, and like really bad drawings, you know, like the shit you see on a fridge of like a young family's house, you know what I mean? Yeah, stuff that's been stuck on with a little magnet, like the sun in the corner, like
the best kind. That's the only way to
the
draw
ducks
the
have hands, like that kind of shit, bro. So he's done all these drawings, and he's minted them. He's turned them into NFTs, and he's put them on sale on OpenSea, which is the platform where you buy and sell NFTs. And bro, some of them, like the floor price for this collection of NFTs is now 2 Ethereum, which is $7,000.
I'm gonna sell my stuff on there.
Mate, it's just because like
some sell the Get Lost logo.
No, you will not sell the fucking.
Maybe just remake every episode an NFT now. Fuck it.
Oh, it's just crazy, bro.
Fuck me, that's stupid.
Oh, we could do that. Start turning the thumbnails into NFT.
Shit. They're getting the thumbnails. I've got to say, I'm going to toot my own horn.
I've got to tip my hat to you, sir.
Some of them, like the one I made you look like Donkey Kong, that fucking made me die. I always mug you off hard on these thumbnails.
Oh my god, yeah, you're brutal with these thumbnails, bro. I swear your editing is just brutal a lot of the time, bro.
I've got to enjoy myself.
Oh my god, wouldn't even include the joke of yourself messing up the accountant joke, but that's the privilege you get of doing the bloody editing.
Oh, that's right. That's great fun. Yeah, I'm looking at the thumbnails now, mate. Some of them are mad. I forget half of the shit that we talk about.
Oh really?
Like, most of the names of the episodes that we do are probably like a 5-second conversation that we have on the podcast.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I know what you mean. It's like such clickbait, but it's great. It's like the worst kind of clickbait, because what the title is never like a valid description of what's actually going on. It's not at all. Like, we'll spend like 10-15 minutes talking about NFTs, and the episode will be called like,
I made $9 grand on
this week. Like,
Or like the one we did just after Ben Nevis. I've called it top 10 tips for climbing Ben Nevis.
Bro, that's not even clickbait. That's just a lie.
But it is. We did. We spoke about how we climbed it, and that's it.
That's it, bro. You're just lying. You're just lying, bro.
Fully lying.
What the episode where you claimed that we did the longest breath hold ever? Come off it, man. Because like people be clicking that, but like, wow, these guys did the longest breath hold. They beat Houdini, and it's just us just doing a bit with
breathing for 10 minutes.
yeah, that was it. Such a lie.
Well,
we were struggling with 3.
Is it? Because we didn't breathe for 3 minutes. We didn't breathe for 2 minutes. We didn't breathe for anher 3 minutes. So I think it adds up to about 10 minutes. You changed in that video. It was mad.
Oh man, that was scary.
Your soul left your body. It was terrifying.
This is like Cocoa Pops claiming it's 1 of your 5 a day. that's what it is. You know, they're like, oh, great source of fiber or something like that. And it's just like, you just know it's like, fuck.
Cocoa Pops and milk do make a bowl full of fun.
Speaking of corruption.
Yes.
Have you heard this Nancy Pelosi stuff?
I have no idea who Nancy Pelosi is.
Nancy Pelosi, she's like real high up in Congress. She's like at the top of the food chain in American politics.
Right.
She's that kind of scary looking, kind of witchy woman. She's got this browny grey hair. She looks really fierce. She looks like a judge.
Let me Google what she looks like. What's her name? Nancy Pelosi. Oh yeah, I see her. Yes. Never seen her before in my life.
Right.
She looks like Hillary Clinton. Do all American politicians look exactly the same?
Yeah, bro. These look like their soul left their body years ago, bro.
It looks like they should have died like 10 years ago.
Like they've never actually experienced joy. You know what I mean? But yeah, she her husband conveniently made $4.5 million. Right. This is fucked. Right. Made $4.5 million off a trade where she was pushing through a piece of legislation. So like she was doing some sort of legislation that would affect tech companies, and he put a trade on for a tech company. And then of course the legislation goes through, the price starts absolutely spiking. She claims she didn't have anything to do with it, she didn't know about it, she didn't got any herself, but like, come on. You're telling me they're not in bed like late at night, by the way.
Let's make some money, darling.
Something I'm gonna tell you, but I didn't tell you.
I'd do it. I'd definitely do it.
Hey, it's just corruption, though. You know what I mean? Like, your average Joe does insider trading, they get caught, right?
Yeah.
That's jail time. Like, actual jail time.
Mad.
Massive fines.
Do you know what? That is a fucking... I don't know why it reminds me so much of the petrol crisis that was going on. Because, you know, the UK is like run out of petrol and that everyone was panicking and shit.
Yeah. I mean, the queues were just like going for ages.
Exactly. It's still not really fixed, but I heard a little conspiracy the other day that makes sense to me. I think I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Let's see what you got.
Someone said that because of COVID, right, and all the lockdowns, not many people were driving anywhere. So not many people were buying petrol, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of this petrol, because petrol has like an expiry date, so a lot of this petrol is now approaching the time when it's like expiring. So the media caused this mass hysteria so that everyone would go out and buy the petrol that's there and fill up their tanks and shit like that, so that they could get rid of it, so that then they could replace the petrol so it's not wasted.
Jesus Christ.
That's
interesting,
bro. Put it past them. Naughty.
That's a little bit sus, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, you just know this shit like that's going on.
Yeah, it's all on the inside.
Mad thing I found out the other day, right? This is just us listing off government corruption.
I'm just bitching about the government.
Right. I'm not scared to attack our government. It's the Chinese government I don't really want to attack.
Oh no, be careful.
The CCP are great and are going to make great leaders of the world one day.
We love you.
But basically, in America, right, they're trying to create answers for the for COVID, obviously, just like the rest of the world. But They invested a load of taxpayers' money into research towards medicine for like tablets that will cure COVID, essentially.
Yeah.
Right? At least like get rid of the symptoms and whatnot. So they'd use the taxpayers' money to pay for this. You know, that's where all the hard-working Americans are paying for this research. It was like, fair enough, okay. You know, this is an important issue. Mm-hmm. Then they make the pill, and then Big Pharma, right? The guys who are doing all the research, you could pay for the fucking research themselves. You know, they've got enough money in the business, but they're using the taxpayer money. They make the pills, and they're trying to sell them for guess how much?
What, to normal humans, like normal?
Yeah. And considering, right, the production cost is $17
per pill.
To produce one of these pills or like one of these packs, I don't know quite exactly what the quantity is, but I know the ratio of markup. So $17, right?
Yeah.
So how much markup, how much profit do you think they're going to try and make off the average American person? £17 production.
At least double.
Right. So you reckon what, about 35 quid, right?
But I feel like I'm way too low there. Like
about 35 quid?
Low. Yeah, that's what I
$780.
What, profit?
That's the price.
So they're mugging people off. They're mugging people off and making them pay for it in taxes, and then they've also got to pay $780, did you say?
$780, brother. That's how much they're planning on charging the American person for it.
Naughty.
Isn't that mad? Like that's so much money. You know what I mean? Like, they're taking their money and then taking their money again is what they're doing.
They're being mugged right off.
Where does like, there's clearly issues with this kind of thing.
Definitely. Where do the American taxes actually go? Like,
where does anyone's taxes go, man?
Well, I know ours goes to the NHS and like schools and stuff, but what does the American go? And like, yeah, what I don't know what
contracts and shit. Like, I don't know. That's why everyone loses their mind when you have like MPs doing like mad expensive. Like they spent like like 20 grand on hookers. So, like, and then everyone's like, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that." Because like what you're doing is like working all year to pay for an MP to get a lamp dance.
Fair play. Go on, Boris.
You know what I mean?
I'll pay you for you.
Hey, we're absolute cucks in this system, I swear to God.
We are. I like being British though over being American. But I've been thinking, I don't think you know, like older blokes, like the elderly, you can be a proper British gentleman, like wear your little flat cap and like everyone loves them. Everyone's like, oh, they're so cute, like a bit of a British.
They're always kind of like short and stubby as well, isn't it?
Yeah. They have a little fucking gun dog and
no, call that Graham. Like.
Yeah. But I think you can't. If you are a proper British lad, you get called a Tory straight away, because it seems that anyone who is like typically traditionally British, everyone's like, anyone that respects the country and the tradition, like you can't love your country without being a conservative. Yeah. You like even though your political views are really just like a part of your they should be a showcase of your personality in a way, in the sense that like Labour's a bit more like they have certain personality traits which do better with Labour, and same with Conservatives. It's like Gryffindor and Hufflepuff, for fuck's sake. It's literally the same thing. Like it's just your personality that's kind of coming through your political party as a part. Like if you're like more industrious, more hardworking and that kind of shit, like a lot of people would prefer to be in like Conservative because they want that hard work to go back to them rather than the community. You get people in Labour who think, well, peace is the priority. So like it's just like a show of your ideas and beliefs but now it's like, oh, if you like the country, like if you like British cuisine, then you're a Tory. Like,
exactly.
Like
as if we didn't grow up here, like
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's all we know. Like how are we supposed to hate all we know? Is that right?
And no other country gets like shit for really. Oh dear! And no other country gets shit for liking their own country, like or being. Is patriotic the word?
Sorry, carry on.
Is it? Sort it out.
yeah, we got that.
Yeah, like because you don't see people shitting on Chinese for being like pro China.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like if they sit there and eat Chinese food every night, which probably do, like no one should be like, oh, you fucking, oh. Have a bit of culture.
Mate, that's what everyone from other countries just hates British food as well. Like they always come over to England, they're like, oh, this is wank. This is proper wank. But I think everyone thinks that, innit? Like,
I love British food.
Man, shepherd's pie is actually like,
it's fire, isn't it?
It's so good, like mashed potato and mince. Who fucking thought of that? That's
madness, and just shit like sausage and mash. Love it.
Yeah,
roast dinner. That's the best food you can have ever. Is a roast dinner.
No, I don't know about that. Don't know about that. But I know what you mean. Like it's like patriotism is like such a like you look at other countries, like even like Italy, like people who come from Italy that live here that are really proud to be Italian. It's like, you know, you go, you're doing well. Like, come on, like, you know, I respect that, you know, you love your roots and, you know, you appreciate where you came from. But here it's like, you know, you got a British flag. You're a racist, bro. You're a racist.
You're a racist or you're going to beat your wife. Is one of the two.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, you're not allowed to love your country. Like, just because you like your country doesn't mean you hate every other fucking country. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's like us or Americans, if we go to any other country and talk about our own country, then people hate you so much. Yeah. Literally, like,
shut the fuck up.
Everyone just assumes that, like, if you like England, you must want to slap Muslims. Like, and it's not the case. Like, you know, you can like England and Muslims, believe it or not. Yeah. Like, you could like them both. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a weird.
It's crazy. System. It's crazy.
Oh dear. Anyway,
it's funny how it all gets mixed up.
Can we talk about Greta Van Fleet, please?
Oh, brother.
Because they've released a new album. I don't know how long ago it actually was, but like we've been listening to it recently.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago. It was like, I think it's been in the last couple of months. Greta Van Fleet, for anyone who hasn't heard, they're the resurgence of rock music.
They fucking are. Rock is back, baby. Rock is back
with a vengeance as well. Jesus. This is actually like, I'm starting to realise how a lot of like rap isn't that good nowadays. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I'm sure probably about 4 years ago, you and I had the conversation where you were like, oh, hip hop is the new rock and roll. And I was like, yeah, but it's such a shame because fucking rock and roll was so good. And you were like, nah, blah, blah.
Don't get me wrong. Some hip hop is amazing. But there is a lot of trash out there at the moment. Like, there's just like trash.
It's the way it's like, I think it's hip hop's on its way out now because everyone's trying to do it. It's the same with that's what happened with rock. Everyone was trying to do it and then it died.
It's saturated. Yeah. The quality goes down. It's odd because it's like the more people competing in it, like you know, you'd expect the quality to go up, but now you just get more hip hop. And and I think people after a while will be like, oh, I'm tired of hearing hip hop everywhere. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just the way like things like trends cycle because like obviously rock was really popular in the 80s and then it sort of died out and then really poppy music came about in the 90s, didn't it? And the early 2000s.
Like Madonna and shit like that. Like.
Yeah. And then like R&B came about and then
my god, Usher smashing it. Yeah.
And now hip hop's been about and now that's dying out and I think rock's coming back and it's just soon we're going to get back in the really poppy stage again. La, la, la.
You think it's going to be pop? I think it's got actually, to be fair, there's a fair bit of like house music at the moment. You notice that?
Oh god,
like
I don't
all
know if
pop is like house.
Really popular.
I swear that is. I think it already is. Like all of like pop music nowadays all has like an 808 beat in the background.
Yeah, but like the proper dance music, like fucking
not like techno. Shit. No. Not like proper techno.
I feel like there's certain styles of music that will never be the mainstream, like screamo. That's not going to be the mainstream anytime soon.
Yeah, facts. It's got to be like relatively like family friendly, isn't it? Like,
yeah. But like,
and catchy. I think rock screamo isn't very catchy.
No. Also, what were musicians doing during COVID? Because
losing money, mate. That's it.
True. But Lewis Capaldi has just disappeared, right? He cancelled his festivals this summer because he needs to go away and work on his new album. What were you doing for the last 18 months, bro? Nothing's been going on. You could have been sitting there writing a fucking album. It doesn't make any sense to me. That is like the perfect time where you've got no obligations to do touring or anything.
Yeah. Mate, what did you do during lockdown?
I didn't do an album, but I'm not a musician. I started a podcast.
Well, that's a lot of chat, isn't it?
I started a fucking podcast and we're still doing it.
That's good answers, guys.
Yeah. And but Sam Fender did it right. He brought out an album recently, which is another, it became number 1 on Friday, actually. It's another rocky album. So Sam Fender and Greta Van Fleet are bringing rock back, bro.
Sam Fender, yeah.
Sam Fender's so good.
Is he good? Because I keep on hearing just shouts about him, but I'm like, oh, it's just another indie Ben Howard wannabe.
No. He's he reminds me a lot of Bruce Springsteen, so he's that sort of rock. Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, I'm really more soft rock.
Yeah. It's fucking good shit. And who else did it well? Even McFly, they brought out a fucking album, and they haven't brought out an album for 10 years. So everyone did it well over lockdown, except this Lewis Capaldi dickhead. Even Adele, she's back.
Yeah. Mate, that's a comeback bigger than
Yep.
Istanbul, I was going to say.
And you're saying Kendrick's coming back as well?
Kendrick's brought a new song out, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Kendrick's got a little cousin, right? So he's basically, his little cousin's brought out an album, and he's featuring on it. But obviously, a Kendrick feature nowadays is worth $1 million, in itself. Just because the bloke hasn't made any music in fucking ages. Exactly. So he came out and it's just popped his cousin off. Now everyone's heard of his cousin Baby Kim, and the album's banging, but it's it's weird. He sounds like a school child in it. It's really odd, but it's class. Yeah. You might like it.
I might. But yeah, fucking even Kendrick's coming back. Ed Sheeran's doing another album, or done another album. So
yeah. Have you listened to Ed Sheeran's?
It's not. I don't think the full thing's out yet, but I think I've listened to the singles that have come out, and they're very good. I feel like every Ed Sheeran fucking song just slaps.
He's just a bit good at songwriting, isn't he?
It's just a bit annoying, really. Just fucking be bad at something.
What else do we have to talk about? At Newcastle. Newcastle we had.
We do have, what was going on in Newcastle?
What the hell did I want to say about Daniel Craig? Oh yeah, Daniel Craig's used the old gentleman's trick, which is going to gay bars to pull women. It's a trick as old as time itself. I'm sure of it.
I love that.
Well, obviously not that old, because they used to kill gay people, so not that old. They did. That's what they did. That was what they did.
Yeah, I don't think they were doing it.
That wasn't a joke. That wasn't a joke. Not many gay bars back then.
It was a bit unexpected.
That wasn't a dig. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
It's like Russia now, to be fair. It's not fact.
Do they do that in Russia?
I say the other. Yeah. In Russia, I swear, they had chemical castration shit going on. It was quite mad.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, but so he's been going to gay bars to try and pull girls, because he said there's less dick swinging, and having been to a few gay bars, I can't confirm this is true.
But Daniel Craig needs to go to a gay bar to pull women. He could stand in the middle of the street doing nothing and he'd pull.
I don't know, you say this, but you've noticed actors are actually a bit weird when they're not in movies.
Yeah, I suppose so, actually.
They're just kind of strange dudes. I don't know so much about the girls because you seem a bit more normal, but acting males, when you I saw it with Elijah Wood, Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe's weird.
It's they just don't know what to say when their lines aren't written for them.
Yeah, exactly. You see them come out with this, they just say weird stuff as well. You know what I mean? Everything's just strange about him.
Daniel Radcliffe is he's
same.
on
he's the same.
He is. It's he's had 10 shots of coffee before he says anything.
Yeah, he's such he's like a big teddy bear as well. He's bare soft, isn't he? You expect the coolest man in history to be a bit I don't know, a bit silent and deadly, but he's there like an uncle that's taken a bit too much MDMA. He's just
he looks weird as fuck without his glasses on as well. Without Harry Potter glasses, he looks so strange.
Yeah, he literally he's the unmarried uncle. That's what he's like, not on camera. The unmarried uncle that's a bit strange because he never got a family and kids and stuff. Bit of a drunk. And he kind of shows up to stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, most actors are a bit sort of strange. some of them do it really well, like Chris Hemsworth. He can't do anything wrong, that bloke.
No.
Or The Rock, but then again, he doesn't act, so
yeah, true. He was a wrestler though, wasn't he, beforehand and whatnot? Like,
yeah, he knows how to put a show on.
God, yeah. Imagine like watching WWE and be like, "We're gonna scout this guy. What if we put this guy in our film?" Mate, he paved the way for fucking John Cena, that's for sure.
Yeah, John Cena's a funny old boy. Seems quite like
he's weird out, Cam.
I saw him on a Graham Norton interview.
Yeah, bro, he's strange. Like, he's so peppy, isn't he? Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, these dudes are just odd. Like, I'm sure I'm a bit of a weirdo. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not judging them without judging myself. But but
Americans on British chat shows make me laugh so much because they don't seem to know how to dial it down. Because Jimmy Fallon laps it up. He loves a bubbly, energetic American. But when you go on the Graham Norton show, it looks a bit weird.
Or the Jonathan Ross. Yeah, absolutely. It seems a bit much, doesn't it? Everyone's a bit more polite, like.
Yeah. yeah. They're literally just there to promote what they want and then just to get the fuck out. Although the Graham Norton show is like, it's more about Graham Norton than it is about the guests.
Yeah, I swear to God.
Which I love. I love that so much. It sort of puts them in their place a little bit.
It's odd, to be honest, because like, I don't know, I feel like this with a lot of TV hosts, like I don't like it when they try and make it about themselves, because like, I'm not watching the show to see Graham Norton. You know what I mean? I'm not there to see Graham Norton like make jokes, like when he's talking to like professional comedians and stuff, and it's like, bro, these are the men with the jokes. Like, you're not the man with a joke. I'm not gonna go watch your tour, that's for sure.
I'd go and see a fucking Graham Norton tour. I like him a lot. I think his is just, it's more like a chat than it is an actual like interview. It's more like just watching a bunch of A-list celebrities, because he's always got the biggest fucking celebrities of the time as well on their show.
Yeah,
and all of them just sitting there talking.
Yeah, I think he had Marilyn Manson on, wasn't it? Was it him?
Marilyn Manson?
I think he had Marilyn Manson on, yeah. Or Ozzy Osbourne, I can't remember. I think it was Marilyn Manson. He talked about getting in a cage with a tiger or something. Nuts.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he has been on the show. Marilyn Manson's a weirdo.
Yeah, he's a strange motherfucker. He was actually at the he's in the Kanye album, and he was at the Kanye music release show. Him, the baby, and Kanye were like, there's just like house, and they were just like vibing to this music that Kanye's bringing out. It's nuts, bro. What a trio!
Kanye just never fails to make me laugh.
Kanye, Marilyn Manson, and the baby. That's amazing. But one last thing I want to talk about. I don't know, like, if you've heard about this. Newcastle have just been taken over by like the richest motherfucking dudes like there are.
The football team, yeah. I heard about it just because there was an interview with Sam Fender where he was absolutely fucking hanging out his ass on like the one show, and it was because they were partying the night before because of the Newcastle thing.
Mate, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like they've got more money than the entire league combined, and there's some really rich teams in the league. It's like more than the entire league combined times 2.
Fucking hell!
Like they have so much money. It's unreal. So like, it's just gonna destabilize everything for a bit. It's good. It's interesting.
But isn't there the thing where like then I can't remember what it's called, but where you can't
financial fair play?
Yes. Yeah.
There is, but like, you know what I mean? Like if your accountant's good, you know what I mean?
Because people were talking about Man City, weren't they? About how they weren't really listening to the financial fair play thing.
Yeah, I think Chelsea actually did have to face a ban. They faced a season-long ban. But what they did the next season is just spend loads of money. They spent like 300 mil or something the next transfer window. It's crazy. Jeez. So like this is gonna happen with Newcastle. They're just gonna get so like you're gonna see them slowly climb to the top of the table. And football is just about money now, and I think everyone's got to accept that at this point.
Bit of a shame, isn't it?
It's a bit of a shame. But it does make it more interesting. This is why the Super League might not have been a bad idea, to be honest. If you just had like all these really rich clubs competing with each other, the standard of football would just be unreal.
Yeah, true. But Do you think like fucking Grealish and anyone who transferred for more money this transfer window are now sort of like, fuck, we should have just waited?
Yeah. Absolutely, bro. Like, I think the Newcastle players who are currently in the team are kind of shit themselves a little.
Yeah, they're like, fuck, we're out. I'm out of the
job. They're like just trying extra hard in training, like staying a couple of hours later, trying to sweet talk the boss a bit. You know what I mean?
In the gym for 5 hours a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Not complaining about being on the bench, just, you know.
They're the only people involved with the Newcastle team that actually were really pissed off about the takeover. They're like,
yeah.
Well, wonder if Aston Villa will take me.
Their agents are like, oh, okay, we got a bit of work coming. Let's go. They're playing at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. It's the first game since they've had the announcement, so it'll be interesting to see if they've all like stepped up and thought, oh, we got to go impress the boys. They're playing
right now.
Right now, bro. Yeah.
Oh man, well they're not doing very well. It's
really
3-1.
Oh man, well, they were all fucking losing their shit, wasn't it?
The manager's just sitting there scouting the Spurs players now. He's like, right, we'll swap you two over.
And the board are sat there scouting the Spurs manager.
Oh fuck's sake.
It's gonna be mental, mate. It's gonna be mental. You can see the bloke's like terrified of losing his job. Like even the manager, bro, he's like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. But...
Oh god, I need to feed my kids.
Because he's like a budget manager. They had like a good manager, but they lost him because they failed to invest money in the club. This is before the takeover and before they knew anything about this. And so they had to lose a manager because they didn't have enough money. So now they've got like a budget manager. So he's just guaranteed to get fired at some point. It's interesting to see how it pans out.
Oh, yeah.
But like, it's going to be nuts because Newcastle were like a big superpower back in the day, like a massive deal. Like, that was back when Shearer was playing for them. They were like winning leagues, like they were competing in Europe. And then they went down to the Championship and now they're back. And it's a giant city, you know, it's going to be interesting.
It is.
But the mad part is there's going to be like all these European football players. Right, like just like who play their football in Italy and Spain, having to move their families to Newcastle. You know what I mean? Like,
Geordies are absolute nut jobs. So the fucking riots that are going to be going on outside the Newcastle stadium,
it's going to be crazy, bro. It's going to be crazy. You imagine having to tell your wife, like your wife's like. Oh, have you got any offers recently? Yeah, it's in Newcastle. Like,
yeah, sorry, love. The kids are gonna have to go to school in Newcastle. They'll grow up and like their first rolls. Club will be fucking Bijou.
We'll get to meet Scotty T though. So.
True. And Ant and Dec.
It's so mad how all like the most talented players in Europe are coming to these like northern cities now, like Manchester and Liverpool.
Yeah, that's
Newcastle. It's just absolutely freezing. It's nothing like the Mediterranean. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's sort of a bit shit for them, really. You want at least some of the London clubs to be a bit better.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, mate.
Oh, moving to the UK. Where are you going? London?
Nah. Newcastle.
Newcastle.
As close to Scotland as you can get.
I'm so sorry, but we're going to Liverpool. Oh, for fuck's sake.
We're so mad, mate, because there's such beautiful destinations. Because, like, you'd just be sat there, like, as a family member, just praying that they accept the offer to Barcelona. Like, please.
Yeah.
It's like way up between Barcelona and Newcastle. Yeah, like.
It's gonna have to be Newcastle. You're playing like the players are dressed like the referee as well. The Newcastle kit is awful.
Oh my god, like literal zebras, like
they literally look like the referee. Fuck's sake.
It's a shambles, mate. It's a shambles. It's quite funny though. It's quite funny. Jesus.
Well, on that note, let's wrap this bitch up.
Yeah.
What is this, Christmas? didn't know we ended with a joke as well as started with one. Eh?
I don't know if you could call either of those jokes, to be honest.
That one was better than the first one.
Jesus Christ. Mate, you're making everyone laugh at once. It's a nightmare.
I know, right? Fucking call me Bill Burr.
No.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for listening.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Get lost. Get lost on air. Welcome to Get Lost. Get lost on air.